Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's like goal is 11 likes. Let's see if we can hit it. Now, let's dive into today's chapter. At the start of the chapter, we see a towering figure at chopper-like monster standing tall amidst a swirling chaos. Its body emits a dark, ominous aura, casting shadows over Cyan and his friends. The creature's presence is oppressive, radiating raw, destructive energy. Cyan lifts his gaze, his expression firm. He declares confidently, "I am not just any monster. I've torn through realms, separated worlds, nothing can hold me." His voice echoes with authority, revealing the monster's true power. Suddenly, the monster lunges at Karen with ferocious intent. Its claws slash through the air. Karen barely ducks, narrowly avoiding a devastating strike. His teeth grit in determination as he quickly activates his ability Volt Detection, hoping to sense the monster's next move. But to his dismay, the monster doesn't flinch. Its dark gaze remains fixed, unfazed. Seeing this, the other three allies shout in unison, their voices filled with resolve. "We'll help too. We can't let this thing win." They combine their powers, channeling a skill called Elemental Fusion. Rolling ethereal, a radiant beam of blinding light erupts from their united attack, piercing through the battlefield, targeting the beast head-on. The monster roars in fury as the beam strikes its armored form, causing it to stagger. The impact causes the monster to lose its footing. Crouching instinctively to regain balance, Luna quickly seizes the opportunity. "Hold it in place," she commands, raising her hand. She activates the skill freeze, casting an icy prison around the creature. The monster's body is encased in shimmering frost, immobilized but still snarling as the beast is trapped. Luna turns sharply. "Lamella, now's your chance. Attack," she shouts. Lamella leaps high into the air, delivering a precise, powerful strike at the creature. But in an instant, the monster retaliates with surprising speed. It swings its massive claw, knocking Lamella away with a simple yet deadly blow without hesitation. The monster casts Sand Stump, summoning a whirlwind of sand to obscure its movements. Meanwhile, Set, observing the chaos, steps forward with a grim expression. He announces, "I've come here to end this fight once and for all." Suddenly, a colossal sand tornado erupts from the ground, spiraling wildly, an enormous manifestation of the monster's Sand Stump skill. The tornado rages toward the group, threatening to engulf everything. Luna, eyes wide with panic, calls out to Lamella, "Check if RMC is okay." Thankfully, Lamella confirms, she's unharmed. Relieved, Luna breathes out sharply. "I have a terrible feeling about this fight," she admits, her voice trembling with unease. The scene shifts back to Set and the monster. To everyone's shock, the monster suddenly dispels its own magic undoing. The Sand Stump hand begins rushing towards Set, claws extended, aiming for a brutal physical attack. Set, the madman, grins wildly, excitement flashing in his eyes. He readies his own skill, prepared for the incoming assault. As the chaos unfolds, RMC Cyan has seen enough. Surrounded by a swirling dark purple aura, he unleashes his void sphere of void energy that he hurls directly at the monster. In a flash, before Set and the monster can clash, the monster is struck down, collapsing into the sand. With a heavy thud, the white-haired man, with sweat streaming down his face, looks on, confused. He can't decide who is truly the real monster here. His thoughts are interrupted as his subordinates rush to his side. Worried and frantic, he snaps at them in anger. "Now's not the time for concern. Focus on Miss Luna's safety." The subordinates look at each other, confused, unsure if they've done something wrong. Meanwhile, the remnants of the monster disintegrate into dust, leaving only its bones behind. Cyan nods grimly. With the monster dead, the realm's seal is broken. He then turns to Set. "Where's the demonic scripture? Do you know?" Set shakes his head. "I never managed to take down the monster. I have no idea where it is now." Suddenly, the skull begins to burn with eerie blue flames. Cyan and Set realize something's wrong. The ground cracks open violently, unleashing a torrent of blue-colored tornadoes that swirl menacingly toward them. Toward RMC, Luna, and the others. Huge boulders crash down onto RMC, trapping him beneath a mountain of debris. Lamella, watching helplessly, grimaces. "No matter how talented RMC is," she says solemnly, "he probably can't survive this." But Luna, with calm determination, replies softly, "He will come out unharmed." Without hesitation, she steps forward, heading into the rubble. "Help me clear this," she commands Lamella. Lamella tries to object, but Luna's aura flares brightly. "I can feel RMC Cyan's presence. I know he's still alive." The scene shifts and we see RMC transported to another realm. In front of him stands the very monster he had slain earlier. But this time, it's alive, revived, with even greater mana radiating from its form. RMC turns back, informing Set, the monster's been revived. He then notices Set's body lying motionless, burned to a crisp on the ground. He wonders, did Set fail to dodge the attack? Then he realizes, the spell that struck Set was a 9-star spell, incredibly powerful. far beyond what a young learner from the academy could handle. As Cyan processes this, the revived monster roars fiercely at him, demanding a fight. This time, Cyan's eyes burn with fury. He draws his dagger, voice icy and determined. It's good that no one's watching us here. Let's settle this. Both gather their strength, charging at each other as the scene fades out, leaving only the clash of blades and the promise of an epic duel-end scene. The air crackles with tension as Cyan and the monstrous beast collide. With a deafening explosion of energy and fury, Cyan's eyes blaze with determination as he unleashes his signature Mufog's Sword Rush, Fogstorm. Blades of swirling mist cut through the chaos, shimmering like deadly ghosts, slicing through the air, each slash echoing like thunder in the silence that follows. The monster roars in pain, claws tearing at the mist, but Cyan presses on. Relentless. With a swift pivot, Cyan turns, launching a barrage of rapid strikes, serial attack, each blow hitting with precision and brutal force. The monster screams in agony, its flesh rippling with each strike. Blood and ichor spray into the air as Cyan's blades carve deep, forcing the beast to stagger. The creature, battered and bleeding, drops to one knee, voice strained but defiant. You are the first human to make it this far. The monster growls, voice gravelly and thick with pain. Its eyes flicker with a strange mixture of respect and fury. Cyan halts for a moment, surprised it can talk, he thinks, narrowing his gaze, the adrenaline surging through him, intensifying every nerve. The monster, blood dripping from its maw, snarls through gritted teeth. You will lose. It's hard to kill. My eye will regenerate endlessly. No matter how much you cut, I will come back stronger. Its muscles tense, muscles rippling with raw power, ready to fight to the end. The beast takes a fighting stance, claws digging into the ground, muscles coiled for another attack. Be prepared, it sneers. I will rip you apart piece by piece. Cyan's eyes narrow, his mind calculating. Without hesitation, he unleashes Void Sphere, a swirling orb of dark energy that expands rapidly, hurtling toward the monster with devastating speed. The beast's eyes widen in fury as Cyan's blade arcs through the air, slicing deep into the creature's flesh. Sparks fly as the blade pierces the beast's defenses, and for a fleeting moment, the beast's core glowing with an ominous crimson light flickers into view. The core is exposed. Cyan's heart pounds with hope. Perhaps this is the moment to end it. But before he can strike again, the monster's regenerative powers kick in. Wounds mend in an instant, muscles knitting, scars fading. The monster roars, an unholy sound that echoes through the battlefield, as if mocking Cyan's efforts. I will keep regenerating, the monster declares, voice echoing with ominous certainty. You will grow tired before I do. This game of attrition will be your undoing. Cyan's resolve hardens, his aura erupts in a blaze of crimson-red demonic aura, fierce, intoxicating energy that radiates outward, shrouding him in a threatening glow. His voice cuts through the chaos, cold and unwavering. I'll keep fighting. I prefer if your regeneration lasts forever, Cyan states, his tone laced with iron will. The monster, momentarily stunned by Cyan's unwavering spirit, hesitates, dumbstruck by the sheer ferocity and resolve of his opponent. Luna and her ally stand amidst the crumbling ruins, desperately casting spell after spell in attempt to dispel the rumbling chaos that threatens to swallow everything. Magical incantations shimmer and flare, energies colliding in a chaotic dance. But none of their efforts seem to make a dent in the relentless barrier of protection. Luna, her face etched with concern, breathes heavily. There must be a barrier shielding the ruins. If only we had set it up properly, we might have a chance to clear this. Her voice trembles with frustration and desperation. Suddenly, a tall, white-haired man approaches swiftly, his expression tense with urgency. Luna, you need to get out of here, he urges, voice firm. I know the way out, trust me. Luna, stubborn and unwavering, shakes her head. Cyan's still inside. I can't leave him behind. Her voice is resolute, filled with a fierce determination. The man's face tightens with shock. You don't think Cyan could have survived? You're risking everything. He suddenly snaps, voice rising with a mixture of anger and pain. Why? Are you so obsessed with Cyan? Don't you realize? Azra, Morkettle, they all died in front of me. Their sacrifices mean nothing if you keep risking your life like this. Are you planning to make their deaths meaningless? His fists clench in frustration, eyes blazing with raw emotion. He steps forward, voice trembling with conviction. I'll escort you out. I've served you long enough. Unlike Cyan, I've been by your side through everything. His face flushes. Read, the intensity of his feelings spilling over. Luna remains cold, her gaze steady. Her voice, icy and precise, cuts him off. I won't abandon him. If you're not going to help, then leave. Her companion, observing the exchange, lets out a bitter laugh, sharp and unhinged. No matter what she says, I'll take her out by force, if I have to. He draws his sword, standing fiercely in front of Luna, protective and furious. Don't interfere, he growls, grabbing her by the neck, his grip tight but controlled. Without hesitation, he activates Charge Volt, a surge of crackling electricity spiraling outward. Luna screams as the pain surges through her body convulses, trembling under the assault. She collapses to the ground, weakened and vulnerable. A sinister smile crosses his face as he leans in close, voice dripping with menace. "It's just the two of us now," he whispers, eyes gleaming with madness. But then, from the shadows, a sudden sound, something breaking the tension. The man looks up sharply, eyes narrowing. "Are there more survivors?" he demands, voice edged with suspicion. "Show yourselves." From the dark, swirling mist, a voice emerges, calm, commanding, yet filled with menace. "Show myself." "Very well, but in return, you'll pay for your insolence." Set's eyelids flutter open, consciousness flickering back like a dying ember reignited. "Where am I?" he wonders, voice raspy and weak. Memories flood, Baklami Haram's attack, the pain, the darkness. He struggles to sit up, panic rising. In his chest, "Did I die?" A shadowy figure appears behind him, a woman with dark, flowing hair and an air of regal authority. Her presence is both beautiful and terrifying. "Long time no see, Chaharkan's heir," she greets softly, a sly smile playing on her lips. Set, confused and wary, asks, "Who are you? How do you know me?" She tilts her head, eyes glinting. "With knowing, you don't remember. I was the one who saved you when you were dying. It's been so long, but I've been watching." A flicker of amusement crosses her face. "Now, I'm more interested in the boy with you." She steps forward, placing a delicate but commanding hand on Set's face. "I will take control of your body, just one more time." Before he can react, she suddenly kisses him, a strange, unsettling gesture, leaving an indelible impression of her dominance. Back in the real world, the aftermath of Cyan's victory and the scene of devastation, Set's burned, motionless body lies on the ground. A strange glowing mark appears on his face, an ominous symbol of some dark power awakening. Meanwhile, Cyan continues his brutal campaign against the defeated monster. The battle is a one-sided slaughter. Cyan is unleashing every ounce of frustration, fury, and pain upon his foe, as if venting years of rage. His attacks are relentless, each strike more vicious than the last. Finally, Cyan's blade pierces the beast's core. A faint, sickly glow flickers before exploding into shards of sand and dust. The monster disintegrates, collapsing into a pile of fine, lifeless grains. Cyan stands over the remains, panting heavily, clutching a crumpled piece of paper, part of the demonic scriptures, a fragment of a greater, darker power. He mutters bitterly, "This is all I got. I came all this way for nothing." His voice echoes with despair and frustration. He glances at the sky, eyes darkening. K-Ram. She would have noticed right away if she was awake, but she's pushed herself too hard. She's fallen into an indefinite slumber after her last battle with Boris. She's gone silent, and I'm left here, holding on to scraps of hope. He surveys the battlefield, a lone figure lost in thought. Why am I still here? If the monster is dead, then what am I waiting for? Suddenly, a sharp, sinister feeling prickles at his senses. He senses bloodthirst behind him, an ominous, almost parasitic presence. Cyan's instincts take over. He moves just in time, narrowly avoiding Set's attack. He notices that Set's mana, the very essence of his power, is different, corrupted, twisted into something darker. Cyan's heart pounds with suspicion. What's going on? Why does his mana feel wrong? Questions swirl in Cyan's mind as he steels himself for the unknown, preparing for what may come next in this treacherous, unpredictable fight. In the previous chapter, Set had been seized by an unseen force, possessed by a malevolent lady whose intent was sinister. She had attempted to silently infiltrate and ambush him, her movements stealthy and calculated. Yet, Cyan, with instinctive agility, dodged her attack, narrowly avoiding harm. A strange sensation prickled at his senses, an unnatural disturbance in Set's mana, an eerie, distorted aura that felt off. But try as Cyan might, he couldn't grasp what had truly occurred. Leaving a lingering sense of unease, the scene opens to a tense gathering. Luna, Lamella, and the enigmatic white-haired man stand amidst the ruins. Shadows flicker around them, as a dark presence looms, a manifestation of the malevolent force from before, now fully revealed. Its form is ominous, a nightmarish beast cloaked in darkness and menace. The creature's voice echoes with a chilling calmness, resonant and commanding. "I wasn't trying to meddle," it states, yet its very presence screams otherwise. Its words are deceptively nonchalant, but its eyes burn with lethal intent. Then, its gaze sharpens as it asks, "Why are you trying to hurt that child?" The threat hangs heavy in the air. Its tone shifts, tinged with menace. "If your excuses aren't convincing, I will end you." A warning that brooks no defiance. Suddenly, the full monstrous form is revealed, a towering abomination with twisted limbs, scales, and claws that shimmer with malevolent energy. Its body is a nightmare, muscles rippling beneath grotesque flesh, eyes glowing with relentless fury. Both Luna and the white-haired man are overwhelmed, unable to comprehend the full scope of what they face. Confusion and dread cloud their expressions. As they take in this terrifying entity, he grips his sword tightly, his mind racing. My presence alone should terrify him, he thinks, steeling himself. This is the true Lemmy Haram, the real deal. I must strike him down in one decisive blow, or this fight is lost. He recognizes the danger the monster's aura radiates overwhelming power, a force that could crush him effortlessly. He prepares himself, blade gleaming in the dim light, adrenaline surging, but the monster, with a flick of its monstrous hand, dismisses his resolve. It reacts with annoyance and a cruel smirk. Without warning, it damages his right hand. Blood spurts from the wound, pain igniting across his nerves. To attack in response to my question, it says, voice tinged with mockery. Isn't that rude? With a snap of its fingers, blood erupts violently from the man's arm, as if the very air obeys its command. Luna can only stand frozen, her eyes wide with horror, helpless as she witnesses this brutal display. The white-haired man is hurled backward, crashing into a wall that cracks and shatters under the impact. From the shadows, a crimson claw emerges, clutching him and pinning him against a debris-strewn wall. The creature's voice drips with condescension. Now you're more obedient. It sneers. The man grits his teeth, pain etched across his face, helpless against the creature's overwhelming strength. The monster presses him further. Why were you trying to hurt that girl? It demands again, its tone cold and unyielding. He remains silent, refusing to answer. The creature's patience snaps. With terrifying precision, it finishes him, slamming, crushing, and obliterating his form beneath its brutal might. The destruction is complete, leaving only smoldering remnants. Turning its gaze to Luna, it declares with a cruel smirk, now, I am waiting for words of thanks. Fear grips Luna. Her voice trembles as she places her hand over her chest, trembling, and softly, almost inaudibly, offers her gratitude. Thank you, she whispers, trembling with residual fear. Then, with cautious curiosity, she asks, was that Lemmy Haram? The creature, now identified, nods slowly. Yes, he responds, voice calm, but dangerous. Luna's voice quivers as she asks, Lemmy, what are you going to do with me? Her mind races, unsure whether this creature's intentions are malicious or merely observing. Lemmy, the monstrous entity, steps closer, scrutinizing her with an unsettling gaze. He points at her, his expression unreadable. You are a unique constitution, he notes. He further observes. There are traces of heart, curb, yet someone with mana similar to mine removed it. No wonder I felt a strange familiarity with you. He then gestures toward the rubble, revealing the black-haired figure trapped beneath. That must be the work of the one trapped there, he states gravely. Panic floods Luna's face. Is Cyan okay? She asks desperately. Lemmy nods reassuringly. He's fine. Most likely he's having a conversation with the owner of this ruin. He's safe for now. His gaze shifts to Lamella. Is it okay to let her die here? He asks softly. Luna's voice is heavy with sorrow. Nothing can be done. Such fatal wounds can't be cured with magic. It's already too late. Her eyes shimmer with tears. It's my fault, she whispers. Lemmy's expression softens slightly, then offers a hint of hope. There's a way to save her, he says, but I have one condition. He pauses, his tone serious. Fulfilling this condition, I will help you. Scene shifts to Cyan. Cyan is locked in a fierce battle against Set, who is now possessed by a dark, corrupted force. Each move is a challenge, blocking, dodging, parrying, the difficulty mounting with every passing second. He grits his teeth, determination burning in his eyes. Set has surpassed human limits, he mutters through clenched teeth. His mana and physical prowess have skyrocketed. This isn't the same Set he once knew. After several exchanges of blows, a powerful punch from Set lands squarely on Cyan, staggering him. Another follows, sending Cyan flying backward. He quickly plants his dagger into the ground to slow his momentum, grimacing at the pain. He realizes the fight is grueling. Set's strength is terrifying, almost unrecognizable. When Cyan looks up, his eyes widen as he sees Set soaring into the air, gaining altitude with unnatural grace. Suddenly, a woman's voice echoes, not Set's, but one carrying a strange, hypnotic tone. Cyan, you're the first human to last this long, it says. Skip the games. Let's get to the real deal. Cyan's heart skips a beat. Do you know me? He asks, suspicion flickering. The woman remains silent, then launches a devastating attack, an onslaught of energy that threatens to annihilate him. Cyan braces himself, only for a moment of despair to wash over him. But at that critical moment, K-Ram manifests from the dagger, shielding Cyan with a protective barrier. Her grumpy demeanor is unmistakable. Geez, I just wanted to sleep peacefully, she grumbles, eyes narrowing. After this, I'm going back to sleep. The airborne woman descends, addressing K-Ram with a familiar tone. It's been so long, she says, a hint of nostalgia in her voice. The last time we met was during the god-demonic war. K-Ram snaps back, furious. How dare you bother my master, she demands. Is it okay to possess a human like that? She points to her chest, revealing a symbol. This is the mark of the Chaharkan tribe, who serve her. she explains. I was only meddling in their affairs. The woman smirks, teasing. You're an oldie, K-Ram. Don't be jealous, just playing with your master. Cyan, watching this exchange, asks, why is the sand god protecting the demonic scriptures? The woman responds calmly, I merely lent them my space. This shrine was built by the tribe that serves me. I also took in Lemmiharam after the demonic war. It's to prevent the divine armor from being misused. She steps closer to Cyan, eyes narrowing. Why are you so eager to get Lemmiharam? Cyan replies, there's someone I want to kill. I need the demonic scriptures for that. She laughs softly, dismissive, is that all? She questions, if you try to stop me, I'll kill you even if you're a god. Her laughter echoes ominously. Kill a god. What a joke. She sneers. Cyan's expression hardens. I'm not joking, he states firmly, but she continues to laugh, mocking, and after that, going to kill the supreme god too. Her chuckle fades, replaced by a serious gaze. I've made my decision, she declares. I will watch Cyan's journey through this body. Panic flashes in Cyan's eyes. What about Set? Is he okay? He asks urgently. She responds, tone nonchalant. I'll use his body from time to time. While I'm here, you can't die. With that, K-Ram transforms into her cloud form. Flickering and shimmering, I'm returning to sleep, she says. Should we go? Suddenly, the ground trembles violently. The floor surges and ripples beneath their feet. Chaos erupting as the chapter comes to an end, opens with the ground beneath cracking apart an ominous rumble, echoing as the sun god Sabulum declares, let's go. Yet, as the dust settles, the earth's surface appears untouched. The rubble and shattered stones, which moments ago had threatened to swallow the area, have mysteriously reverted to their original positions, as if the chaos was nothing but a fleeting illusion. The rocks now lie perfectly intact, as if the destruction had never occurred. Next, we shift to Set. The god of the sun, Sabulum, had temporarily lost control of his body. Now, Set, the vessel of his divine essence, stood in his place. His face was contorted into a comical expression and odd, almost mischievous smile, as he looked around, confused. Why am I here? He asked, scratching his head in bewilderment. His voice carried a strange tone, almost humorous, yet layered, with underlying tension. Suddenly, from behind, Luna calls out. Her voice is gentle but urgent. Set turns around, eyes narrowing as he recognizes her. He sees Cyan standing nearby, looking unscathed, and both Luna and Cyan smile softly, relief washing over their faces as they exchange glances. A silent reassurance. Cyan quickly surveys their surroundings, noting the destruction. His gaze lingers on the wall, where the white-haired man was crushed, his body mangled beyond recognition. The damage severe. A heavy silence falls. Cyan softly remarks, we should have been more worried about ourselves. He studies the scene carefully, sensing the underlying tension. His eyes narrow as he observes the area. His mind races. This level of destruction couldn't have been caused by normal means. He thinks to himself, this place should be protected by Sabulum's powers. If it's damaged this badly, then it has to be Lemmiharam's doing. His gaze then falls on her hip, where a mysterious tome hung. Demonic scripture. Recognition dawns. The scriptures, he murmurs softly, understanding that they've been found. Set. Meanwhile, adds in a dry tone, we should probably leave. His suggestion is practical but tinged with urgency. Cyan frowns, curious. Why? Set touches his head, grimacing as he responds. Some woman kept talking to me, saying this place would collapse soon. His expression shifts to one of annoyance. Did you hear it too? He asks Cyan. Cyan's mind whirls. He suspects it's Sabulum's voice, the sun god, warning them. With Luna possessing the demonic scriptures and Sabulum's consciousness in Set's body, the ruin's existence seemed fragile and unstable relic that could crumble at any moment. Luna, determined, presses her hand to the ground, declaring, I'll use teleportation to escape. Cyan quickly intervenes. The distance to the entrance is too far for that spell. Luna, he knows her 9th star teleportation spell is powerful but limited in range. We don't have a choice. Luna shouts back, her voice resolute. Cyan, observing her resolve, thinks she's about to use a 9th star spell, a high-level teleportation magic one that could bridge great distances instantly. As the ruins begin to shudder and collapse, Luna channels her mana. With a flash of shimmering light, they are instantaneously transported outside. Just as the world around them teeters on the brink of destruction, scene shifts to Cyan's room at the academy. Cyan stands before a mirror, a faint violet aura flickering around his body. He smiles softly, but the glow hints at something deeper and unknown power, awakening within him. Suddenly, the scene zooms out, revealing that it isn't Cyan admiring himself. It's Nana, in Cyan's body, observing her reflection with a mixture of curiosity and satisfaction. No horns, no wings, no tails. Nana mutters to herself, examining her appearance. I look just like Cyan now. She smirks, thrilled at her disguise. The scene shifts to the classroom, where students are staring in shock. Nana, embodying Cyan's demeanor, is attentively attending the class. Her mind is filled with curiosity. She's eager to experience Cyan's daily life firsthand. I always wondered how Cyan's day really was, she thinks. Observing her classmates, she imagines Cyan studying with friends, joking around, and having fun in the classroom. Aaron blushes and turns red, stealing glances at Nana, believing she's Cyan. Her thoughts drift to their engagement, her cheeks flushing deeper. After class, Nana strolls through the corridors, bright and cheerful in unexpected contrast to Cyan's usual reserved personality. She enjoys her day with a new sense of freedom. Suddenly, she's interrupted. Celicia appears behind her with a scowl. Should you really be wandering around? Celicia asks sharply. Lucky the dean isn't here, or you'd be in trouble. Nana's eyes widen with fear. She starts trembling, tears forming as she hurriedly apologizes, feeling the weight of her mistake. Meanwhile, Aaron calls out softly to Cyan, blushing even more. I wish I could talk to Cyan. Seizing the moment, Nana quickly takes Aaron's hand. Pulling her away, let's go to my room, she whispers hurriedly. Arin, nervous and blushing, nods silently. Her maid, watching from a distance, wishes her well, and whispers, enjoy your time, your highness, before quietly slipping away. Back outside, the ruins. Luna's teleportation spell succeeded. She managed to cast the 9th star spell, a feat she admits she didn't believe she could pull off. It's a miracle it worked, Luna states, relief flooding her voice. Honestly, I didn't think it would succeed. Lamella, standing nearby, suggests they rest in a nearby village, exhausted from the effort. This place, says, turning to face the village, is Nordley, the city of outsiders. His tone is familiar, as if he knows this place well. As they converse, a group of men and an old man approach. The old man's eyes widen in recognition. Why have you come back? He demands, voice heavy with emotion. Set recognizes him immediately. Old man, Barnathy, he greets with a mixture of respect and excitement. The old man hesitates, fear flickering in his eyes. Don't come near me, he shouts. It's been 6 years, your highness. 6 years since we've rebuilt our lives. If you feel pity, then leave us be. Don't destroy the peace we fought so hard to attain. At the start of the chapter we are shown, an elderly man, with a hesitant expression and tired eyes, stands face to face with the young, energetic group. The atmosphere is thick with tension and awkwardness, as if unspoken memories hang heavily in the air. Set, bursting with enthusiasm, grins widely and shouts, long time no Ichin, see, old man. The young man, spirited and warm, raises his hands in a friendly gesture, a genuine smile on his face. Hey, it's been a while, glad to see you again. But the old man, eyes narrowing and voice trembling with a mix of anger and regret, sharply retorts, don't come near me. A heavy silence follows. The old man takes a deep breath and then continues. Voice tinged with bitterness, yet tinged with pride. It's been 6 years. Your highness, that's how long it took for our people to get back on their feet. The young figure's eyes flicker, with conflicted emotions, confusion. 6 years, the old man repeats, voice softening but still firm. And if you feel any pity for me, please go back. Please do not destroy the peace we've worked so hard to attain. Set, confused, asks hesitantly, OLD, man, what, weren't we close? The old man's expression sharpens, a hint of annoyance flickering through his features. No, he replies simply, with a tone that leaves no room for argument. He points back behind him, commanding attention. Do you remember him right here? He gestures dramatically. He's my son, Agap. When you were younger, you broke his front teeth because you wanted to train with him. Set, nonchalant, shrugs with a grin. That was just a fight between kids. The old man's face hardens, but there's a glimmer of humor beneath. His voice turns more serious, yet retains a touch of irony. He still hasn't gotten married because of that, and that's not all. Lu always destroyed our village wells, broke all the walls of our buildings. Why did you even do that? Set, remaining calm as if the destruction is just a normal part of childhood chaos, responds casually. It was just a game. I didn't mean any harm. The old man's voice rises, frustration evident now. A game, you call wrecking everything, a game. Cyan sighs deeply, trying to keep his composure, and remarks with a tired but amused tone. He's been a real pain in the ass ever since he was a kid. That's why people call him the troublemaker prince. Luna, with a small smile, adds softly, I guess we won't be resting here then. Please turn back. Suddenly, inside Set, the sun goddess who had been quietly observing takes control once more. Her voice, calm but commanding, echoes with divine authority. I can't just sit back and let that happen. I've got dibs on this child. I don't want you treating him so harshly. She holds out her hands, a cool, confident smile on her face, as her yellow aura begins to rise and shimmer around her. The old man, confused, asks, what are you talking about? What do you mean? She gestures broadly, the aura intensifying into a magnificent display of divine power. I am the one who crooked the desert, the dust and bridge storms to this world. I, Sapulum, want to stay in your village. Accept his honor. Luna's eyes widen in shock, and she places a hand on her chest out of respect. The sand goddess Sabulum possessed Set. As soon as she finishes speaking, the divine glow subsides. Set, now back in control, starts to panic, clutching his head. What just happened? Did you hear that woman's voice too? Cyan, Luna, and Lamella stand together in a corner, watching intently. Cyan points at Set and says confidently, thanks to her, we'll be staying in this village. The villagers, kneeling on the ground in reverence, beg for forgiveness from Sabulum, the sun god, their divine protector. The scene shifts to the academy, where Nana, having taken the form of Cyan, sits with Aaron in her room. The door is gently closed by Aaron's maid, who smiles kindly and says, have a nice time with young Master Cyan. Inside the room, Aaron and Nana sit on the sofa, holding hands. Aaron's cheeks are flushed bright red, her eyes wide with nervousness. Princess Aaron. Trying to hide her flustered state, Nana breaks the silence with a warm smile. I'm so glad. We managed to run away. Instructor Sarika is so scary. Aaron blushes, even more, biting her lip, unable to say anything. Nana, noticing her nervousness, asks gently, are you feeling unwell? Your Highness, you don't have a fever, do you? Aaron fidgets nervously. Then Nana places her hand on Aaron's forehead, her expression softening with concern. Arin, panicking, blushes furiously, and pulls away. What are you doing? She stands there, her mind racing, and silently thinks to herself, we're engaged. I shouldn't act like this. Gathering her courage, she finally decides to ask Nana about their engagement, her voice trembling but determined. What do you think about our engagement? Nana, with a completely straight face, responds, nice, I like you. So, I like the engagement too. Aaron, speechless, whispers softly to herself, Cyan, likes me. She can't quite believe it, her heart pounding wildly. They share a shy, tender look. Suddenly, Aaron notices something odd. Nana's transformation is wearing off, and her tail becomes visible. The scene then shifts. Are shown a carriage inside. The carriage was Headmaster Kundal, sitting with a serious expression, glances around. At the academy's atmosphere, which has subtly shifted since his absence, Kundal frowns. Worried, the academy's looking much more foreign now that I've been away. Did some other being infiltrate the faculty? A dragon? Or something else? He furrows his brow, concern etched into his features. Back inside the room, Aaron suddenly realizes it was Nana all along. Nana, visibly worried after being caught, quickly says, I'm sorry, Princess Aaron. Aaron, relieved, responds softly, it's okay. You didn't do anything wrong. Nana, reassured, then states, then I'll tell Papa about what you said. Aaron, suddenly stern, sharply commands, no, don't do that. She then relaxes, sitting down on the sofa, and says quietly, but I'm glad you helped me realize something. Looking at Nana, she then asks, can you polymorph back into Cyan? I want to see him again. Nana transforms back, and Aaron, clasping her hands, blushes deeply. I like you, Cyan. She uses this moment as a chance to practice what she wants to say to Cyan. Softly and with affection, I realized I've liked you since the day we first met. I know I'm just a burden to you, but I've been trying so hard to be better. Please, don't disappear without a word. Stay by my side, please. Tears well up in her eyes as she pleads, her voice trembling. Please, don't tell this to Cyan ever. Suddenly, Nana's expression shifts serious and resolute. Something's coming, princess. Something strong. Outside her door, Aaron's maid tries to stop Headmaster Kundal from entering. Kundal with unyielding authority. There is no place Kundal Quazel, cannot enter in this academy. Move aside, Leximus. She refuses to budge, standing her ground. Kundal's gaze sharpens. He raises a spell, and with a flash of light, breaks open the door. But inside, Aaron and Nana stand firm. Aaron, commanding and assertive. I am having a private conversation with my fiancée. Please leave. Kundal, coldly. Kindly move aside. Princess Aaron, that is not Cyan. As he speaks, he unleashes a spell toward Nana. Arin. Desperate, pushes Nana aside to protect her. Run away. He's not someone we can defeat. She shouts, but Kundal is relentless. He grabs Nana by the neck, voice furious. How dare you sneak into my academy? You will pay for this. Kundal's icy grip clamps onto Nana, his eyes devoid of mercy. With a commanding voice, he channels his magic. Trance's holy lance. Dark clouds churn overhead, rumbling ominously as distant thunder echoes like the wrath of the skies. The earth beneath trembles subtly, shadows lengthening and swirling in the ominous gloom. A brilliant lance of divine energy erupts from Kundal's palm, piercing through the stormy heavens. It strikes Nana directly. Her scream pierces the air with raw pain and despair. Her body convulsing as agony overwhelms her senses. Her eyes flutter, teetering on the edge of unconsciousness. The thunder roars louder, echoing through the sprawling academy grounds, as if nature itself mourns. Emily and Brian, watching from afar, freeze in shock. Their breaths catch in their throats. Emily, voice trembling, murmurs, "That's quite the thunder." A heavy silence follows, thick and suffocating. The weight of realization dawns like a cold dawn. What they've witnessed is far beyond ordinary magic. Brian, eyes blazing with urgency, sprints toward Nana's quarters. But as he reaches the door, it's empty. Nana has vanished. His entire body stiffens, eyes wide, fists clenched. He had sensed an overwhelming surge of mana at that time. "Nana." His voice is a mix of desperation and resolve. Emily, voice edged with concern, asks, "Where are you going?" "Define Nana." Brian replies fiercely, determination burning in his eyes. In the courtyard, Kundal unleashes relentless waves of spell after spell, powerful, precise, and devastating. Explosive bursts of magic crack the air. But Nana moves with unmatched agility, a blur of grace and speed. She evades each attack, her movements elegant yet frantic, like a leaf caught in a storm. Kundal observes her, a flicker of admiration crossing his face. "Wow, can she move so freely after being hit with ninth star magic?" His voice remains steady, commanding. "She's no ordinary dragon." He hurls another spell, eyes narrowing. "Are you possessed? Is a god controlling you?" Before Nana can reply, 3 massive stone pillars erupt from the ground, slamming down with thunderous force, pinning her beneath their crushing weight. Kundal steps closer, coldly observing her battered form. "You're neither dragon nor human," he murmurs, almost to himself. "Why aren't you fighting back?" His tone sharpens, challenging her silence. Voice thick with suspicion. "Are you underestimating me, or are you waiting for someone?" Blood trickles from Nana's battered lips as she fights to breathe, her body trembling under the weight of pain. Despite her wounds, she speaks softly, voice unwavering. "I don't think you're a bad person. Nana doesn't attack good people." Kundal's eyes narrow, surprised. "How can you tell? How would you know if I'm good or bad?" Nana's gaze softens, her voice gentle but firm. "I can smell it. I can tell if someone is kind or cruel." Her words carry the weight of her conviction. "My teacher said that I only use my powers to teach bad people a lesson." Kundal's expression darkens further. He unleashes another spell, voice icy. "Tell me about your teacher. Was it this teacher who brought someone as inspiring as me into this academy?" Nana's magic flickers weakly, her wings trembling as exhaustion takes its toll. With grit and blood streaming down her face, she declares, "Nana isn't impure." Her aura flares, suddenly wings, unfurling fully, radiant and fierce. She shouts with all her remaining strength, "Papa said, Nana's good." Kundal's face remains unreadable. Without hesitation, he conjures Star Judgment, a devastating spell aimed at her. Nana, using her wings as shields, dodges just in time, her movements desperate. Despite her valiant effort, it's clear the headmaster's overwhelming power is winning. The scene then shifts inside the academy's depths. Erin pounds desperately against a shimmering, unyielding barrier. Her fists hurt, her resolve unshaken. Her maid approaches, voice gentle but firm. "It's no use, Your Highness, the dean put up that barrier himself." Close up on Erin's face, eyes burning with determination. "We need to reach Instructor Sarika," she insists. "She was close to Sion. She might be our only hope." Suddenly, the door swings open. Instructor Sarika steps in, calm but alert, her presence commanding. "You don't need to find me," she says, voice steady. "With all this chaos, who wouldn't notice?" Brian, watching nearby, steps forward, closing the door behind him. "I'll block the entrance. No one gets in or out." Sarika touches the barrier, her expression serious. "The core is probably around the dean," she murmurs. "This might be extreme, but it's the only way." Suddenly, her form shimmers, dark energy swirling around her. Her body convulses, transforming into a terrifying demonic entity, dark, commanding, and formidable in appearance. She whispers gravely, "Forget everything you see now, or I will kill you." Dark energy thickens, the scene plunging into shadows and danger, the atmosphere heavy with ominous power. Nana, battered and exhausted, begins to glow faintly. Her form shifts, her true essence revealed. She's a childlike figure, radiating innocence, yet radiating a latent, dangerous power. The headmaster observes, voice filled with a mix of disbelief and curiosity. That's her true form, a child. Suddenly, he notices a breach in his barrier, the unmistakable presence of someone breaking through. It's Instructor Sarika, landing swiftly in front of Nana, posture alert and protective. Her eyes burn with fierce resolve. "I'm sorry, Dean," Sarika says firmly. "I couldn't let him hurt her." The dean, recognizing her, hesitates. "What is your relation to her?" he asks cautiously. "She's my student," Sarika replies, voice unwavering. "I take full responsibility." Nana, lying on the floor, barely opens her eyes. "Teacher Sarika," she whispers softly. The dean commands her to step aside, but Sarika stands her ground. Nana, mustering her strength, sits up weakly. Nana's not a bad child. "Don't be mad at Teacher Sarika." Tears stream down her cheeks as she pleads. "Please, don't be mad." Moved by her innocence, the dean's stern expression softens. He turns away, then softly commands, Heal her, Sarika. Then come to my office with an explanation. Sarika bows deeply as the dean departs. The scene shifts to a vibrant fest, pounding, dancers swirling, voices rising in joyful celebration. The atmosphere is lively, filled with hope and unity. Among the revelers, Seth sits upon a grand throne, surrounded by adoring followers. They kneel before him, believing him to be the sun god, the divine protector of their realm. As Cyan and the others entered the bustling village, the night was alive with celebration. Lanterns flickered, and rhythmic drumbeats echoed through the air, filling the night with energy and joy. The villagers, sitting proudly on ornate thrones, cheered loudly, their faces alight with happiness. Suddenly, one of them, caught up in the excitement, exclaimed sharply, ... What single quotes are's going on? At that moment, the villagers turned their heads and, with exuberant voices, shouted in unison, the goddess has descended. She has come to us, through Prince Seth's body. Hooray! Set, who was sitting the throne, just remained silent, lost in thought. His brow furrowed as he watched the scene unfold. Overwhelmed by the chaos and confusion, he muttered to himself, seriously, what the hell is going on? The old man who had earlier opposed Set and his friends from entering the village stepped forward. His voice was filled with pride and a hint of reverence as he declared, our prince has always been so smart. I knew this day would come. The villagers erupted into chants, calling out Set's name with joy and elation, their voices blending into a chorus of celebration. But the sight only ignited a flicker of irritation within Set. His fists clenched, and he shouted sharply, stop this nonsense. In his frustration, he tore at his shirt, the fabric ripping as a sign of his growing anger and confusion. From a balcony overlooking the scene, Cyan observed the festivities with a detached expression. His eyes narrowed as he remarked casually, what a festival. Suddenly, K-Ram emerged beside him with a serious tone. I don't get what she's scheming. I feel like she's trying to keep an eye on us using that guy. But I don't understand. Why? ... Cyan nodded thoughtfully. Gods can't interfere with the human realm. She won't be able to do anything to us now that we're outside her temple. That's how it was with the other god, too. K-Ram's brow furrowed as she added, but it's a different story if she's using that idiot. Don't let your guard down. Master, someone else is watching us, too. At that moment, Luna hurried onto the balcony, searching for him. Her face lit up with excitement as she called out, were you waiting for me? Cyan turned to her with a calm expression. Yes, I need to talk to you. Is Lamella okay? Luna's face softened with relief. I was worried because her wounds were pretty bad, but she's all right now. She'll be much better after a day's rest. Her internal wounds are fully healed. Cyan nodded in acknowledgement, impressed. Long-distance teleportation magic, combined with advanced healing ear skills, have really improved. Hearing this, Luna let out a sigh of relief. So that's why you wanted to talk to me. I was wondering why you weren't asking about how I got my hands on that LeMay harem. The scene shifts to Dean Kundal's office. Professor Silica had come to meet him in order to give him an explanation. The dean looked directly at her, voice stern but inquisitive. How did Cyan get that draconic human in here? Surprised that the dean already knew it was Cyan's doing, Silica hesitated but then responded cautiously. I'm not sure how he managed it, but it's clear he's involved. The dean nodded knowingly. The way she endured all my attacks. He's the only one capable of handling a draconic human as strong as that. Silica, hesitant, asked softly, what are you planning to do? The dean paused thoughtfully before answering. I'll have a talk with him. He already imagined Cyan's confident smirk, saying, I bet, you'll let me, right? Silica lowered her eyes. I'll take responsibility as his instructor. The dean's tone grew more serious. Good and evil are already decided by the world. What's considered evil is ominous, something you should stay away from. But if he's trying to protect someone, that's his true nature. He looked at her with a hint of compassion. It doesn't matter that he's a member of Mist. Better to be genuine than hypocritical. She was taken aback by his words, not expecting this perspective, he continued, his voice grave. The Empire is heading toward great danger. I've done all I can to prevent it, but fate is stronger than me. When the time comes, fulfill your role here at the Academy. He then said, I have to go now. Silica, panic-stricken, called after him, great danger, ... Fulfill my roles, ... What's going to happen in the future? The dean stopped, turning back with a gentle but piercing gaze. ... What does she like? That child. The scene shifts again, to a room where Nana lay resting, battered from her recent fight. The dean entered quietly, gazing at her with a mixture of affection and nostalgia. A flashback flickered in the dean's mind. Young woman and a child holding each other tightly, tears in their eyes. I'm sorry, father. I won't ever say Miss Mother again. Please forgive me. The scene faded back. The dean sighed, whispering softly, why was I suddenly reminded of Diana? I miss you so much, especially today, my daughter. He carefully placed a gift beside Nana's bed before quietly exiting the room. The shifted back to Cyan and Lunacian. Say to Luna, you can just have it. Luna looked puzzled. I thought you needed it though. Cyan shrugged nonchalantly. I don't need it, don't worry about it. He cast a warning glance, his eyes darkening, a faint red aura emanating from him. Don't ever let anyone take it from you, unless you want to die by my hands. Turning away, he added, I'm heading to the academy. You can come back with Seth later. Luna sighed, a hint of frustration. He's leaving on his own again, idiot. From Luna's shadow Lumi's voice softly echoed. You really like him, huh? Luna nodded, a faint smile forming. So, tell me what he's trying to do. Let me harm, replied calmly. I don't know, but I'm starting to understand him more. Luna's voice was resolute. I'm going to help him, no matter what it takes. Lemi Hadong responded. Yes, as long as you uphold our contract, my truth is yours. Luna of Rain Reaver, but why do you call me Lem? Luna smirked. Lemi harm is too long. The scene shifts to Brian, who was practicing with his sword under the moonlight. His movements were tense, each swing filled with determination. As he struck, memories flooded his mind, Professor Silica's words echoing. You did the best you could. It can't be helped that you're not talented. He muttered to himself. It's all because I'm weak. I can't just sulk around. I have to help the young master. Suddenly, an unknown figure approached him, emanating a dark red aura that sent chills down his spine. The figure's presence was intimidating, eyes glowing with menace. The mysterious stranger spoke coldly. Where is Cyan? Brian stiffened, trying to maintain his composure. Young Master Cyan isn't here. Without warning, the stranger released a powerful spell, creating a barrier that trapped both of them inside. His voice was menacing. Hand him over. Without hesitation, the stranger charged forward with his sword, initiating a fierce and drawn-out battle. The air crackled with energy as they clashed, each exchange intense and relentless. The stranger repeatedly demanded, hand Cyan vert. Over the fight dragged on. Both combatants pushed to their limits. Eventually, Brian managed to knock off the stranger's helmet, revealing a face that froze him in shock. His eyes widened as he stared at the intruder. Cyan was preparing to leave for the academy. He dressed in his academy uniform, stood confidently. With a determined tone, he declared, all right, let's go now. Ram, standing nearby, raised an eyebrow. You're gonna go alone. Cyan glanced back. Nonchalant, Lunov can come back with Seth as soon as Lamella is better. I don't have anything to do here anyway. Ram hesitated, concern evident. Are you sure it'll be all right? Lunov might be upset, you know. Cyan shrugged, a hint of boredom in his voice. Why? Why would she care? Ram sighed deeply, shaking her head. You're gonna be alone forever. Cyan smirked faintly. Without warning, he waved his hand, summoning a portal with his magic. As soon as it shimmered open, Cyan stepped through, disappearing from view. I hate kids. They're annoying. Plus, I don't care if I'm forever alone. The portal deposits Cyan directly onto the training ground, where Brian and the mysterious figure Kalen are engaged in a fierce fight. As Cyan steps out, he bursts out in surprise. What is going on here? Why does Kalen look like that? Brian, noticing Cyan's arrival, shouts urgently. Young master, watch out, that's not Kalen anymore. The figure, now fully revealed as Kalen grits his teeth and snarls. Found you, young master Cyan. With a sudden leap, Kalen charges at Cyan with his sword raised, intent on attack. Cyan quickly summons his own sword, exasperated. Man, can't I get a break? He activates his skill, unleashing Fog Sword. Rushing Fogstorm, a swirl of mist and blades cut Kalen down swiftly. Brian, wide-eyed watches in amazement. He defeated him in just a second. I wouldn't expect any less from the young master. A shadow of doubt crosses Brian's mind. Am I nothing more than just a burden to him? Cyan turns to Brian, concern in his voice. Your wound looks pretty deep. Are you all right, Brian? Trying to appear brave, nods quickly. Yes, young master, I'm fine. Cyan offers a small nod of approval. You held up well while I was gone. I'll take care of the rest. Kalen, now on the ground, coughs blood and manages to gasp out. Young master, please be careful. Ashel and Boris have located the holy sword. Hearing this, Cyan falls silent, his eyes narrowing as he silently processes the information. They found it much earlier than in my past life. Things are getting harder to predict. He fixes his gaze on Kalen. They turned Kalen into a marionette. I won't even need to look. Into the person behind this, Brian rushes over. Alarmed, what happened to him? Cyan picks up a small stone from the ground, holding it up. I believe it's the seal of reversal. Ancient dark magic that twists the mind and forces targets to attack allies. He clenches his fists, voice filled with resolve. They were using my shadow personality against me. I should have killed Boris back then. This keeps happening because he's alive. I won't let it continue in my new life. I have to kill him fast. He straightens, determination blazing. Get ready to leave, Brian. It's time to depart from the academy. The scene then shifts to Vert Duchy, Temple of Lumandela. Woman clad entirely in white approaches, her presence serene yet commanding. I've been waiting for you, Mr. Ashel. Ashel.com, but guarded. Long time no see. Nephrodite Iris. She smiles softly, turning back. It's been a while since I was last called, that now I go by senses more often. You're not with Prince Lunel today. Ashel shakes his head. Serious. He doesn't have anything to do with this. The senses smirks playfully. Then the rumors about Princess Violet must be true. Ashel's expression hardens. I heard you received revelations. She chuckles lightly. You're so boring. He continues, voice firm. The holy sword is resting at the hill, where the scenery of the Guardian is visible. She raises an eyebrow. I assume that's the estate of the continent's guardians. That's why I wanted to see you. You know better than anyone, where the estate is the most visible. Ashel considers, then responds. I have an idea, but why so close? Disbelief flickers across his face. Why? The senses smiles, her expression soft yet mysterious. The truth isn't always far. That's what Lumendel's love is like. The scene then shifts to Cyan, who is in Dean Kundal's office. Cyan places the stone on Dean Kundal's desk. Do you recognize this? The Dean, touching his beard thoughtfully, nods. Isn't this the seal of reversal? Suddenly, the art style shifts to a cartoonish exaggeration. The Dean yells, have you gotten yourself in trouble again? You're dabbling in dark magic now, Cyan hurriedly protests. It wasn't me, the Dean cuts him off, voice raised. Were you planning to hide that dragon too? Get out of here if you're going to keep acting like this. Cyan, resigned, responds. Okay, I will. Worsening things will only happen as long as I stay in this academy. The Dean, astonished by Cyan's attitude, asks, it's strange to see you so obedient. Why are you acting like this? Cyan's face tightens, a hint of anger flickering. The owner of this seal of reversal is one of the people behind the blood banquet. I need to stop him. If I don't, he'll keep trying to harm those around me. The Dean studies him thoughtfully. What's so powerful about this blood? What's going on in your life that makes you so angry? He then speaks, voice serious. Let me tell you something about this stone. It's similar to the Days Stone. Some say they share a root and connect to the Black Blood tribe, although that tribe no longer exists. Rumors say a few are still alive, lurking in the slums of Exilum, near the capital. Cyan frowns. Why? Tell me this. The Dean calls him a fool. Stop trying to carry everything alone. Listen carefully. The peace of 100 years is now threatened. If we lose it, the academy will fall too. You must fulfill your duties and I will fulfill mine, he continues, voice grave. Let me give you some advice. You won't find anything pleasant there. Whether you face trials or a harsher fate, it won't be easy. That's what living as someone's tool is like. Cyan silently agrees, understanding. He leaves the office, then spots Professor Sarika. Were you listening? Sarika nods. You're going to kill Boris, right? He was bound to become a target eventually. Cyan asks cautiously, are you coming too? She shakes her head. No, I want to, but I need to stay here and fulfill my role as an instructor. The Dean knows my secret now. A flicker of worry crosses Cyan's face. Did he figure out who you really are? Sarika smiles softly. No, I think he always knew. K-Ram chimes in. He's not a Dean for nothing. He's someone you shouldn't underestimate. Sarika removes her glasses, eyes sharp. I think he has some kind of plan. I'll leave Boris to you. Just tell him this. Go to hell. Cyan, serious and resolute, responds. I'll give him a taste of hell before he even reaches there. K-Ram adds with a grin. Let's make sure hell feels better than what he'll experience with you. The scene then shifts back to Ashel and the senses. Ashel and the senses stand before the mysterious holy sword embedded in the ground. Ashel awestruck asks, amazing, it really was. Near the estate, is this really the holy sword? The senses nods, eyes shining. It looks just like in the legends. He reaches out and grasps the hilt. Heed my call, Duran D'Arc. Behind him, the senses watches with a faint smile, whispering to herself, I don't have a good feeling about how it's crookedly stuck in the ground, but it should be fine, right? Suddenly, the spirit of the sword emerges, touching Eshel's face gently. Heir to the god of light, and my master. Without warning, she punches Eshel hard in the face, furious. What took you so long? You're too late, you idiot. How dare you neglect me? I can't forgive you, damned mortal. The sword spirit, furious, delivered a powerful punch straight at Ashel's face. Ashel staggered back slightly, clutching his cheek, as the spirit's voice roared in anger. Why did you come? Only now. You're way too late, you idiot. She continued, voice trembling with rage. You dared let me suffer such humiliation. I won't forgive you, you worthless little insect. Ashel.com, but slightly surprised, looked at her, holding his face. Huh, a child. It must be the spirit form of Duran D'Arc, but I didn't expect it to look like that. The spirit's tears welled up as her anger turned to despair. You think I look funny? This is all because of that guy. How the hell did he find out? Was he born with clairvoyance or something? Damn it, whatever. Her voice cracked with frustration. The master of the demon sword, that bastard stole my power. I cannot endure this humiliation. Bring it back to me, you damn heir of light. The scene then shifts to the academy where Sion was. Sion was seated beside Nana, who was still recovering from her previous fierce fight. Sion looked thoughtful, watching her with a gentle expression. It's a relief that it ended like this. You fought the continent's greatest mage and lived. Honestly, I was a bit surprised. He glanced down at Nana with a small smile. You've grown enough that you no longer need me. From a corner of the room, Brian spoke up, voice full of remorse. I'm ashamed, young master, because I keep letting you down. I've failed as a guardian knight. Sion slowly stands, walking past him with calm resolve. Then do better. If you know that, I have somewhere to go, so I'll head out first. Brian, desperate to prove himself, hurriedly called out, then I'll get the luggage ready, as you said. By the way, where are we headed this time? Sion replied without hesitation. There's a place I know on the outskirts of Leuven. We'll explain the details, so you two go ahead first. Brian hesitated. Aren't you coming with us? Sion shook his head. I'll join you later. After stepping out the door, Sion turned back briefly, voice sincere. Without you, Nana wouldn't have come this far. That's beyond my capabilities. You've done well, Brian. Moments after Sion left, Emily hurried into the room, clutching a packed lunch. Young master, I packed a lunch. You can't just leave like that. But Sion was already gone. Emily, standing there, looked confused and worried. She turned to Brian, her voice cartoonishly annoyed. Why did he leave in such a hurry? The scene then shifts to Nodeli ancient ruins. 3 figures clad in white robes stood amidst the ruined site. The atmosphere was tense. One of them, a grizzled man, remarked. What, a mess, is this where Karin last made contact? His subordinate nodded. Yes, it's the only place that fits the reports. The man continued, disappointment evident. He had such great ambition. And yet, he met his end in a place like this. Koran, he pulled out an artifact, holding it up. It glowed faintly, like a small white ball of light. Oh deceased, he intoned, his voice echoing with arcane power. Remove your veil and show yourself. Suddenly, a spirit materialized before him, ethereal and shimmering. It spoke softly. The dead, I have answered the call. The man's eyes narrowed. What happened to the grimoire? It disappeared with Lady Lunov. His face twisted in panic. Lunov was here. Why would that child? The spirit answered, voice steady. Shein. Vert was seeking the grimoire. Lady Lunov helped him. The man's expression darkened, veins bulging on his forehead as rage overtook him. His subordinates whispered nervously. Why would Lady Lunov do such a thing? He snapped sharply. Scatter. The spirit vanished, and a formidable aura erupted from the man. What are you all doing? Bring Lunar to me. This instant, the scene then shifts to the Exilium underground sewers in the damp, dark tunnels. 3 figures stood. A rabbit-like woman, a cat-like human, and a 4-armed man. The rabbit-like woman whispered impatiently. Can't you go any faster? The cat-like human responded calmly. I am going as fast as I can. Don't rush me. The 4-armed man, sensing the powerful magic energy, muttered, what intense magic energy. A normal human couldn't handle this, right? The cat-like human scowled. Only demi-humans like us can handle magic stones. Did you forget why this place became a city of death? The rabbit woman then shot a command. Less chatter, more work. Lord Boris is waiting. You know. The 4-armed man scoffed and responded. Don't act like the captain here. Suddenly, Sion struck in complete stealth, killing him instantly. The cat screamed, panicked. Toby, who the hell are you? The rabbit woman quickly unleashed her spell, rapid flame, but Sion cut through it effortlessly. Sion then approached them, and used his skillsurging fog. Stormin dealt with both of them. He approached her with a fierce aura, ready to kill, and demanded, you seem to know Boris, where is that bastard? She smiled. Ah, so you're that Xion Vert. Without warning, she cast Pure Explosion, a massive destructive spell that engulfed the scene in a huge explosion. The scene then shifts to where Luna was. Luna, with panic on her face, suddenly called out, Xian Sunbei. A woman nearby turned to her. What is it, Lady Lunov? Luna hurriedly dismissed her worry. It's nothing. Then Set, standing nearby, called out confidently. Then, let me continue. Handed down only through generations of the Shirakan clan, I present to you the treasure of treasures, the brilliant name, Arabat. With this artifact, we can reach the academy in no time. I grant you permission to ride with me. Luna, unimpressed, replied casually, we have something like that too. The woman sighed. Lady Lunov is originally from the Garam Society. They're known for collecting countless rare artifacts. Something like Arabat is rather common. Set looked disappointed. Then they took off for the academias. They were in the sky. Luna looked worried. We have to hurry. It's hard to explain, but something definitely happened. The dust settles, and the aftermath of the explosion becomes apparent. Amidst the smoldering ruins, Cyan stands unscathed, a faint glow of magic flickering around him. His expression remains calm. Despite the chaos, K-Ram, nearby, observes Cyan, with a mix of relief and concern. I didn't expect an explosive magic spell in a place like this. Cyan chuckles softly. It's practically a suicide bomb. He gestures to the surrounding area. There are mana stones everywhere. The fire's gonna keep burning unless someone puts IT out. With a quick motion, Cyan activates Air Void, a skill that causes the flames to dissipate, stopping the spreading fire. K-Ram smirks. Since when did you start doing good deeds? Cyan glances at the wreckage. Look again, I can't see them. K-Ram raises an eyebrow. Are you sure they didn't just burn to ashes? Cyan narrows his eyes. In that short amount of time, that's not possible. I think they went that way. K-Ram nods slowly. I thought everyone other than the woman all died. Suddenly, some villagers rush onto the scene, glaring at Cyan with hostility. What a human kid. What's a human doing here? Get out of here. Hearing their shouts, K-Ram frowns and asks Cyan, irritated. You put out the fire for them, so why are they acting hostile? Cyan remains composed and Hetan begins to recount their history to K-Ram. Long ago, this was a little village filled with peace, but when the demonic dragon Leviathan invaded during the God-Demon War, that tranquility was shattered. He continues, voice steady but somber. Thanks to the hero Lixid, who serves the god of light, we managed to push back the demon. But the tragedy didn't end there. When the dragon was defeated, its corpse decomposed, creating mana stones, and that worsened everything. Cyan's tone darkens. The powerful mana expelled from the stones turned Exilium into a barren, uninhabitable wasteland. Rumors say that mana caused genetic mutations, giving rise to these beast-like creatures. They still live here, mining the stones and cursing the humans, whom they see as monsters. By the time Cyan was done talking, the villagers' shouts grow louder, accusing, where do you think you are? Get out of here. K-Ram, visibly irritated, asks Cyan, should I kill them? Cyan shakes his head. IT's too much work. We'll just leave. Since that's what they want, the scene then shifted. Tough animal trio comprising a cat-like human, a rabbit-like woman, and a four-armed Manhwa were discussing their failed efforts. The cat-like human asks, is that all the mana stones we could collect? The rabbit woman, frustrated, snaps. All that work for nothing. It's all because of that kid. The four-armed man grumbles. If I had weren't for Boris's power, we'd have all died to Cyan. Suddenly, Boris arrives. Hurriedly, shit, were you hurt because of me? Mr. Cyan has found this place too. Then, I apologize. It's my fault. The rabbit woman asks, why are you apologizing? He's the bad guy. He started this. See, Cyan attacked us first. The four-armed man adds, with a hint of admiration. I only realized after he cut my head off. He's very skilled. Boris, trembling with guilt, says, I knew I shouldn't have dragged you into this. The rabbit woman, worried, pleads. Don't say that. We want to help you. If it weren't for the money you sent us, we'd have starved long ago. This is our chance to repay our debt. Please, rely on us. Boris nods, determined. Please don't push yourselves too much. The cat-human hands Boris the mana stones. It's not much, but we got some. Accepting them, Boris clenches his fist. I will make sure this ritual is successful. I'll make him pay for what he did to you. Boris begins the ritual, casting a bright yellow magic circle beneath him. Suddenly, the demonic spirit whispers to him, hurry, Boris, he's here. The three stand guard tense. The rabbit woman senses something. Is something there? Cyan suddenly leaps forward, almost attacking the rabbit woman, but is stopped at the last moment by the cat human. You won't fool me twice. Cyan vert. The cat yells. Cyan calmly asks, how are you guys still alive? A fierce battle ensues. Inside, Boris whispers to the demonic spirit. They will stop Cyan from approaching for too long. The spirit responds. This is the only way to defeat him. Awaken the Leviathan. Boris, meanwhile, at the academy, Luna and Set have returned. Princess Erin walks through the dormitory with her maid. After a while, the maid calls out. It's not like he ever came to see you. First, Erin flushes and retorts. Yup, I definitely can't go see him. How rude of me, the maid teases. Then let's just say you're not on your way to see him. Erin hesitates. Then should we go back? The maid points out, we're here to make sure Nana is okay. Erin notices Luna and Set waiting nearby. Looking anxious. She asks Lunev, what brings you here? Are you here to see Cyan too? Luna answers, yes, Princess Erin, but he's not here. Erin's face turns serious. What do you mean? Luna places a hand on her chest, solemn. I just realized his room is completely empty. Erin, trying to stay optimistic, responds, I'm sure he'll be back, like he always does. But Luna shakes her head. No, it's different this time. His scent is gone. He may never return. Erin's eyes widen with shock, sweat beading on her forehead. His scent is completely gone. Is her sense of smell that sharp? Set, tears welling, admits it's my fault. I insisted he train with me too much. I just wanted a friend. I pressured him too much. Eren, ignoring Set, looks at Luna with determination. Do you have any idea where he might have gone? Luna responds, we'll have to look for clues. Eren commands. Seth, look around the academy for any sign of him. Set nods and begins searching. Luna turns to her guard. Lamella, let's see if there's any news in Garam. Eren hurriedly adds, I'm depending on you. I'll gather intel from the palace. Lemmy Harem, watching, warns, he's completely erased his traces. Even I can't track him. As she runs, Eren whispers to herself, anxious, I have a bad feeling. I feel like Sun is going to disappear. I won't just sit back and let him leave. I'm going to find him before he really disappears. Back with the animal trio, the cat human grins bitterly. Boris changed our damned curse into a blessing. The chapter opens with a quiet house. Inside, Brian and Emily are catching their breath. Brian, carrying a hefty load of luggage, sets it down on the floor and exhales. That's the last of them. I'm so relieved the safe house is near Luan. Emily nods, smiling softly. We made it just in time. Good job, Mr. Brian. She glances at their belongings. The young master knows we're here, right? Is he really joining us later? Brian adjusts his bag, keeping the large parcel close. Miss Sarah told us so. All we can do now is have faith in him and wait patiently. A flicker of worry crosses Emily's face, but I can't shake this bad feeling. Nana's really upset, too. It's like she's distressed that he came and left so quickly. Even while she was asleep, Brian's eyes narrow as he silently thinks, I need to do something. Suddenly, a flashback ignites in his mind, Cyan's words echoing. That's not something I can handle alone, but I must try my best. Determined, Brian approaches Nana, who is quietly feeling sad. Double quotes, Nana, why are you so down? Are you hungry? He asks gently. Nana looks up, eyes filled with worry. Did Papa run away because Nana got into trouble? Brian quickly denies. No way, you didn't do anything wrong. He'll come back if we just wait a little longer. Let's be patient and wait. For him, Nana's face brightens slightly. Okay, Papa's stupid. Scold him, Brian. The scene then shifts to Cyan, who was engaged in a fierce fight against the animal trio. He's dodging and parrying attacks from all sides, left, right, and front. The rabbit woman shouts, even you won't be able to dodge while midair. She unleashes fire bursts. The battlefield erupts into chaos, flames and magic flying. But Cyan simply smiles and activates sword aura. The rabbit girl gasps. Impossible. A kid like that's a swordmaster. The four-armed man snarls. What the hell? Damn it, attack him all at once. The cat, human, grits his teeth. He must have a blind spot somewhere. Don't give him a chance to counterattack. They strike from three sides, forcing Cyan on the defensive. K-Ram observes. Why do all of them have the same patterns? They're unaware that thinking only exposes their weaknesses. Cyan grins and activates thick fog, eighth forma, swirling. Dense mist begins to fill the battlefield. He yells, get it together, you idiot. The fight drags on, intense and grueling. Cyan gradually takes down each opponent, severing their heads after a brutal confrontation. But just as he believes the fight is over, they all rise again. The four-armed man lifts his head, battered but defiant. This is more than just a gap in power. I guess we can't defeat him. What a monster. Cyan scoffs. I don't really want to hear that from people who live even after decapitation. Ridiculous. The four-armed man smirks. We weren't trying to defeat you anyway. Cyan narrows his eyes. Then why did you start this fight? Exactly. The cat human, with a sly smile, responds. We just needed to stall time. Suddenly, a dark, ominous voice echoes through the battlefield. The cat human declares, time for the ritual to finish. Cyan's eyes narrow. I knew Boris was plotting something, but I didn't think it would be to resurrect Leviathan as a marionette. From the ground, a massive skeleton dragon emerges, bones creaking as it rises. K-Ram remarks quietly, wow, I didn't expect to see it again. Cyan grips his sword tightly. It'll be really bad if that thing's let loose again. I won't let that happen. The atmosphere thickens with menace. Cyan spots Boris standing atop the skeleton dragon, a devilish smile on his face. The cat human observes. It's too late. The world that abandoned and insulted us is over. This is the beginning of a revolution. We're going to end everything and rebuild from the ground up. No one can stop us. Suddenly, as the cat human finishes, the dragon opens its mouth and swallows him whole. Chaos erupts. The rabbit woman shouts, watch out. But it's too late. She falls to her knees, voice trembling. I can't believe it. Why? Cyan is stunned. I didn't see that coming. K-Ram quickly assesses. It didn't just eat him, it's using sacrifices to increase its mana supply. Cyan frowns. What sacrifices? What are they for? K-Ram responds grimly. That's easy to figure out. It's probably to recover the damage caused by the divine scriptures. Rabbit woman screams at Boris. What have you done, Boris? This wasn't part of the plan. Boris, with an evil smile, replies, "It's a shame, but it's all for the greater good." A dark aura radiates from Boris as he declares, "I too see this as a tragedy." The rabbit woman grits her teeth, tears in her eyes. That's not the face someone makes if they truly believe that. Villagers scream in terror, pointing at the enormous glowing-eyed monster. The creature, an even more terrifying dragon, turns its gaze toward the crowd and unleashes a powerful beam from its mouth, incinerating everything in its path. Boris roars, "All of you trash of Exilum, it's time to pay your debts." The rabbit woman rushes forward, shouting at Boris to stop. She casts Firebuster, a giant fireball aimed at the dragon, but it's ineffective. Boris's eyes turn cold. "I thought we were friends. What a disappointment." "Kiara," the rabbit woman screams back, "I'll wait for you in hell." The beast unleashes its fury on Sion. Sion manages to block the attack. Boris taunts, quite surprising. "You managed to stop an ancient dragon's breath." Sion responds by summoning Void Sphere. Predation. The ominous sphere appears once more, swirling with dark energy.
The scene unfolds with an expansive, turbulent sky filled with dark storm clouds, intermittently lit up by jagged flashes of lightning that streak across the heavens. The atmosphere crackles intensely with raw, primal energy, as if the very air is charged with unstoppable power. Standing amidst the chaos is a colossal, awe-inspiring dragon, the mighty Leviathan, whose immense form dominates the scene. It unleashes a torrent of blazing fire from its mouth, directed toward Cyan, illuminating the surroundings with a fierce, fiery glow. But Cyan, with remarkable resolve and quick reflexes, manages to halt the fiery assault. Observing the confrontation, Boris remarks with a mixture of surprise and admiration. "Truly remarkable. To think you were able to halt the breath of an ancient, powerful dragon." Cyan then swiftly conjures the Void Sphere, a swirling vortex of dark, ominous energy that pulses with a threatening rhythm, pulsating ominously in the air. Boris, with a sinister smirk and a tone dripping with mockery, taunts, "But let's see how long you can defend yourself against this." At that exact moment, the mighty dragon launches another ferocious attack, its claws slashing through the air directly at Cyan. Despite the onslaught, Cyan demonstrates extraordinary agility and resilience, surviving the attack with ease by summoning his technique, Fog Sword, Dance of Black Blood. A shadowy blade materializes, cutting through the chaos and allowing Cyan to strike with precision. In a swift, calculated move, Cyan severs one of the dragon's prominent horns, sending a shower of shards flying. Boris, watching this, clenches his teeth in visible frustration and exclaims, "What? Was your demonic blade just a simple dagger? That can't be. That power can't be native to the sword." He changed the weapon's form with his magical abilities. It becomes clear that this was Cyan's first form of his dagger, the legendary Nirvana of Repentance, a weapon that can shift shape and power at will. The dragon, enraged, begins to attack with its massive claws, aiming to tear Cyan apart. Cyan, however, remains elusive, deftly dodging each attack with skillful movements. Meanwhile, Boris, positioned atop the dragon's head, casts a spell, Flashing Rain. This spell manifests as a barrage of shimmering, luminous projectiles aimed at Cyan's mid-air position. Cyan, displaying exceptional agility and reflexes, counters this assault by unleashing flashes of energy toward the dragon, disrupting Boris's spell. The dragon roars loudly in pain as one of its limbs is struck and severed, causing it to tumble downward toward the crowd of civilians beneath. Panic erupts among the onlookers as they scream and shout, "It's going to fall. It's too late. We can't escape." Without hesitation, Cyan intervenes heroically, activating Fog Sword, 8 whispering petals, a technique that allows him to slice the fallen limb into multiple fragments, preventing disaster. Seeing Cyan's brave act, Boris bursts into laughter, his voice echoing maliciously as he declares, "It's not time to be concerned about others. You're all going to be sacrifices in this ritual." The dragon, wounded and furious, opens its mouth wide and unleashes its ultimate attack, Ragnarok, a devastating, cataclysmic strike that threatens to annihilate everything in its path. But Cyan, quick to respond, counters with Fog Sword, Strengthened Rising Fog, a defensive technique that absorbs and deflects the attack. The energy blast surges forward, aiming for the dragon's neck, but Cyan's skill prevails. Boris, witnessing the chaos, begins to panic, uncertain of his next move. Suddenly, Cyan leaps from the ground with incredible speed, closing the distance to Boris in an instant. In a flash, Cyan's sword is pressed against Boris's neck, the tip dangerously close. Cyan, with a confident smile and piercing gaze, pronounces, "You have no idea how long I've been waiting for this moment, boy. You won't escape with your life this time." With unwavering resolve, Cyan activates Black Fog's power, arc adamant at point-blank range. An enormous explosion of dense, black fog erupts from Cyan, unleashing a wave of destructive energy that engulfs Boris and the dragon alike. The explosion radiates outward, creating a vast radius of destruction, shaking the very ground beneath. The scene abruptly shifts to Luna, who is accompanied by Lamy. Lamy, resting a hand on his chin thoughtfully, states, "Found him." Hearing this, Luna quickly inquires, "Do you know where he is right now?" Lamy points to a specific location marked on the map and confirms. Cyan is there. After examining the map, Luna comments with concern, "That's Exilum. It's basically an abandoned slum, a place with little to no activity. Why would he be there?" Lamy responds uncertainly, "I can't say for sure. I felt the mana of an ancient dragon I once knew, just for a brief moment. But I can't be certain until I actually see it myself." Hearing this, Luna, visibly distressed, asks, "An ancient dragon?" Seeing her anxious expression, Lamy offers reassurance. "No need to worry. It's more like a massive lizard than a true dragon, closely comparable to Cyan." Suddenly, Lamella storms into her chamber hurriedly, followed by several individuals dressed identically to her. Hearing her hurried voice, Luna quickly closes her book, turns around, and asks what's wrong. Lamella responds apologetically, "I'm sorry, but the Garum Association's people just burst in unannounced." The people behind her speak urgently. "The president of the association has summoned you. You're required to come with US immediately." Lamella appears conflicted, hesitant to proceed. She says, "I have a bad feeling about this. I'll try to stall them. Get out of here." Luna looks at her with concern and asks, "I thought you were on Grandpa's side. Why are you helping me now?" Lamella's eyes soften with gratitude as she replies, "You saved my life. I'm only following the path of a knight." Luna offers a gentle smile in response. "Thank you, Lamella. But please tell Princess Erin this." As they converse, one of the guards announces, "We must leave now, Miss Luna." Though the specific message remains unknown, Lamella nods and says, "I'll deliver the message as soon as I can." She then steps out and begins to follow the group. While walking away, she contemplates silently. "I suspect it's because of what happened at the ruins. He might try to get his hands on Cyan because of that. I must ensure he doesn't before he makes his move." The scene shifts back to Cyan, who stands gazing at the remains of his battle. Ram anxiously asks, "He's dead now, right?" Cyan confirms with certainty, "Yeah, I'm sure of it. It's finished." As Cyan continues to observe the destruction, he suddenly hears a voice behind him, belonging to villagers. They accuse, "It's all because of you, human. Everything went wrong after you arrived. I even saw you endangering a woman and child earlier. Get out of here." Fuming, Ram asks Cyan whether she should eliminate them. Cyan begins to walk away, simply stating it's fine. Hearing this, Ram's anger intensifies, and she protests, "You're going to leave them alive? They even saw your face." Cyan responds calmly, "That's for the best. It'll shorten the wait." The scene shifts to the first prince, who has just received news of Boris's death. He, burning with rage, declares, "Boris was useless. I pulled him out of that slum, turned him into more of a human, and now he dares to die without repaying his debts." Suddenly, Askell enters and with a formal tone, asks, "I heard you were looking for me." The prince, glaring sharply, responds, "Boris is dead, and Exilum is practically destroyed." Askell nods calmly and replies, "Yes, I've heard about it." This only fuels the prince's fury, who demands, "Then why didn't you inform me immediately?" Askell explains, "I had urgent matters that required my attention." The prince retorts with frustration, "More urgent than me, the first prince? Are you out of your mind?" Askell then hints, "I have a suspicion about who is responsible. We should head to the academy." The prince asks, "Who are we going to see at the academy?" But Askell remains silent, only saying, "I'll tell you on the way." This leaves the prince gnashing his teeth in frustration, muttering, "I feel like Akel's got me on a leash." The scene then shifts to a dark, underground cavern, dimly lit and ominous. Boris, battered, exhausted from his clash with Cyan, struggles to walk, leaning heavily against the rough walls. Eventually, he collapses to the ground, sitting up weakly, and murmurs, "We got lucky." From the shadows, the monstrous being responds, "Resurrecting you was a failure, Boris." Boris, ashamed, replies, "I'm disappointed. I could have used your powers to heal myself if everything had gone according to plan." The creature assures him, "It's all right, Boris. There's an offering with immense mana standing right before me." Hearing this, Boris becomes alert and asks, "What do you mean by that?" The monster replies cryptically, "Don't be upset. It's the decree of the gods." It then begins to open its maw, preparing to devour Boris. The scene opens on the outskirts of ruin. A carriage moves steadily along the dirt road, dust swirling behind its wheels. Inside, Eshel Vert, the older brother of Cyan, sits upright, his gaze steady and focused. Beside him, the young prince. The carriage is quiet, save for the faint creaking of wheels and the distant sounds of the countryside. The prince, breaking the silence, leans forward slightly and asks with a hint of curiosity, "So, tell me now, just who are we going to see in Ruin Academy?" Eshel, looking out the window with a calm but determined expression, responds, "We are headed to ask for cooperation from Dean Kundal regarding my younger brother, Cyan Vert." Hearing this, the prince's eyes narrow slightly, intrigued. He tilts his head and questions, "Cyan Vert? What does your brother have to do with this?" Eshel's expression darkens, and he replies with a hint of conviction, "That child killed Boris." He pauses, then continues gravely, "And he is the possessor of the demon blade, an assassin of the secret organization known as Mist." The prince's eyes widen in shock. He leans back, stunned, struggling to process the revelation. "Is that true? Are you sure?" he exclaims. Eshel nods firmly, voice steady. This is the information Boris managed to uncover, sacrificing himself to do so. All along, the person sabotaging us, who's been hiding in the shadows, has been Cyan too. The prince's hand instinctively rises to his face, eyes narrowing as realization dawns. He finally understands the full extent of the threat. Everything finally makes sense. He's been toying with us, hovering around us, and we didn't even know, he says with a mixture of anger and disbelief. Eshel folds his arms, his tone resolute. "A bounty has already been decreed through the Imperial Palace. I'm certain the Academy knows about it too." The prince's eyes widen in concern, and he asks, "A bounty? Under what pretext?" Eshel's lips curl into a cold smile. "The mastermind behind the Banquet of Blood and the Exilium incident. His identity is the head of a diabolical assassination organization. Don't we have enough reason to put a price on his head?" The prince's expression darkens further, a mixture of admiration and suspicion. "So you're thinking of framing him for everything? That's clever." Eshel looks out the carriage window, his voice tinged with both sorrow and resolve. "But it pains my heart to see my own brother turn against us. Cyan Vert must be eliminated for the peace and justice of this land. That is his fate. It is the will of the God of Light." Scene shifts to Luna. She is escorted into the grand office of the council head, her expression calm but guarded. As she steps inside, she greets softly, "You came all the way to Lewin, grandfather?" The old man, standing across from her, regards her with a mixture of suspicion and authority. His voice is measured yet cold. "How unexpected of you to come willingly. I will ask as your grandfather, not as the council head. Answer truthfully. Did you help Cyan Vert steal the demonic scriptures at the No Delhi ruin?" Luna lowers her gaze slightly, gripping her book tightly. Her voice is soft but firm. "I don't know what you're talking about." A dark aura begins to emanate from her grandfather as he narrows his eyes, voice dripping with suspicion. "Just as I thought. You're trying to cover for him." He begins to release his aura pressure, attempting to intimidate her with his mana. But Luna stands her ground, unflinching. "Isn't this just your assumption? You won't get anything out of me," she says coldly. The grandfather's eyes flicker with a mixture of pride and menace. He thinks to himself, "To think she'd withstand my mana gravity. You've grown, granddaughter." Raising his mana further, he shouts, "You are the future of the Garum Council. You shouldn't be controlled by your emotions." Luna grits her teeth, her voice trembling with anger. "I'm sick of it. I won't be controlled by anyone." Suddenly, An energy blast erupts from Luna's body, forcing her grandfather to shield his eyes. He mutters under his breath. She's undone it. I can't believe it. Luna, seizing the moment, shouts, "Give up. You won't learn anything from me." His expression darkens. In response, he begins to cast a trap spell, sealing her in place with glowing energy chains that snake around her limbs, rendering her immobile. She struggles, but the magic is too strong. The grandfather approaches her, his voice cold and final. "You won't even be able to regret this." Luna, her voice trembling with fear and defiance, asks, "Are you going to kill me?" He emanates a thick, dark aura and replies softly, "I can't kill the future of the association." She looks at his arms, recognizing the symbol, Nirasha, the mark of his dark power. "He's trying to break my mind," she thinks desperately. He declares with finality, "I shall erase your useless memories." Resistance is futile. He raises his hand towards her, eyes burning with dark intent. "Become the granddaughter I desire, before you changed." Scene shifts to Askell, standing in front of Cyan's room. He gently touches the doorframe, sensing nothing. "I don't feel a presence at all," he mutters. Cyan and his subordinates are no longer here. He then turns to the sword spirit nearby. "Can you pick up traces of him?" The spirit places a hand to her chin, eyes narrowing. Not even a small trace is being detected. Someone must have erased it. She scowls, voice filled with anger. "This is where the one who humiliated me once lived. I'll definitely repay him." Heir of the Black Fog. Askell looks down at the spirit and says, "I was thinking of interrogating something, but it seems that's no longer an option." The spirit snaps at him. "Don't look down on me, you impertinent fool." He apologizes quickly, and both begin to walk away from Cyan's room. "We've dispatched the Imperial soldiers for now," Askell says. "All we can do now is wait for news." The spirit responds, cold and distrustful. "I don't trust humans. Search for him yourself, Heir." Askell nods silently, understanding. Scene shifts to Dean Cunnell's office. He's just finished reviewing troubling news about Cyan. He places the papers on his desk with a sigh. What a troubling turn of events. Suddenly, the door bursts open. The first prince enters unannounced, full of energy. "Have you been doing well, grandfather?" he exclaims. The dean, calm but wary, asks, "What brings you here?" The prince places his hand on his chest and responds dramatically. "Why do you look at me with those eyes?" The dean replies with a calm tone. "What brings you to say such a thing, your highness?" The prince's voice sharpens. "Don't act clueless with me. You cut funding from the Quazelles, and you've been secretly talking to my father behind my back, haven't you, grandfather?" The dean's expression hardens, voice steady. "Your highness, I was only preventing you from starting a bloodbath." The prince clenches his fist, voice trembling with rage. "You think this is no big deal? Violet, Fabian, Nerovian, even Aaron, they all want the throne. Do you think they'd never try to seize it?" Askell's voice rises in a shout. "They'd use any dirty means possible to claim it." The dean's reply is calm, but firm. "Fool, you're worried about what you don't even possess yet. The throne is earned through strength, leadership, and the support of the people. It's not snatched by force or treachery. That's the legacy your father fought to preserve. Don't ruin it." The prince's face twists with anger. "Peace? Someone who raised the vilest demon of our time shouldn't be the one to talk about peace." He points sharply at the dean. "Where's Cyan right now? I bet he's hiding, just like you're covering for him, right?" Suddenly, Erin opens the door, surprise written all over her face. "Big brother," she whispers. The prince snaps at her angrily. "We're still talking. Stay out of this, Erin." The dean, calm and commanding, tells the prince, "You may leave now." The prince, furious, shouts, "I'm the first prince. You dare put that lesser fifth princess before me." The dean's eyes are cold as he responds, "A promise is a promise. Show some consideration befitting the first prince." Just as the tension reaches its peak, a voice from behind interrupts. Cyan Vert's dorm is completely empty. It's Askell, entering the room with purpose. He continues, "He's a major threat to the peace of the Empire. If you know his whereabouts, I request your cooperation." Erin's face floods with panic. "What do you mean, Cyan threatening the peace?" she cries. Eshel looks at her and states gravely, "I'm sorry to say, Princess, Cyan has been revealed as the orchestrator of the Banquet of Blood and the Exilium destruction incident. Many witnesses and testimonies are already following this trail." He then looks at the dean. "Dean, you must have received a letter from the Imperial Palace too, correct?" The dean nods solemnly. Erin is near tears, voice trembling. That can't be. Cyan would never. Eshel cuts her off sharply. A wanted order has been issued across the empire. Watch yourself, Princess Erin. She places a trembling hand over her mouth, whispering, I can't believe it. It must be a lie. Cyan would never do that. Next scene shifts to the town. Crowds gather around a notice board displaying Cyan's wanted poster. One townsfolk points at it. Cyan Vert? Is it the same youngest son of House Vert? Another adds. He's apparently turned Exilium into hell. He's not satisfied with the banquet of blood alone. The boy who survived that devil dragon. A third worries aloud. He's a student at Ruin Academy, right? Shouldn't he have nothing to do with us? Meanwhile, Cyan himself is holding his poster, K. Ram looking at it with a smirk. It came out better than the real deal, K. Ram remarks. Are you satisfied now? Cyan's voice echoes, cold and calculating. Now, Eshel will come searching for me on his own, to claim the most prized trophy in the Empire. And that was it for this chapter. Please leave a like and comment. Your comments help boost my video. Even commenting an emoji would do, thanks.